Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 5th and 6th of February 2023. Let's start with our session. As per the latest All India survey on higher education, what is the trend of total enrollment in higher education in 2019 to 20 compared to the previous survey? So Ministry of Education has recently released All India survey on higher education for 2020-21, and Ministry has been conducting this survey since 2011, and it basically collects the detailed information on the parameters such as student enrollment, teachers data, infrastructure information, financial information, etc. So the total enrollment in higher education has increased to nearly 4.14 crore in 2020-21, and this value was 3.85 crore in 2019 to 2020. And if we talk about the female enrollment, so it has increased to 2.01 crore, and the gross enrollment ratio increased to 27.3 from 25.6 in 2019 to 2020. Fine. So basically we can say that the total enrollment rate has been increased, right? Next is, as per the recent RBI study, which state received the highest GST compensation from the center? So according to a study by the Reserve Bank of India, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Gujarat received the top GST compensation during the 5-year transition period from July 2017 to June 2022. So Tamil Nadu was the 4th highest compensation receiving state, and then it is followed by Punjab. Fine. So nearly 10 states may fall short of the expected 14% GST growth according to the study, and Puducherry, Punjab, Delhi, Himachal Pradesh, Goa and Uttarakhand are likely to be most affected by the end of the compensation regime. Okay, so here correct answer would be Maharashtra. Fine, option number C. Next is, who is the head of the commission for the sub-categorization of OBCs? So Justice G. Rohani led commission for the sub-categorization of the other backward classes has now been given another extension in its tenure by the President. And this was announced by the Union Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. So this is basically the 14th extension in the tenure that the commission has been given. And talking about the commission, it was formed in the year 2017. Fine. So here correct answer would be Justice G. Rohani. Now, according to the data released by the National Statistical Office in its latest 20-point program progress report, only 9,753 kilometers of roads could be constructed under the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana in the first 6 months of financial year 23. Okay, and the performance of the program is considered as poor by NSO if the level of targets achieved is below 80%. Okay, so you can be asked that which institution releases the 20-point program, that is TPP progress report. So answer would be National Statistical Office. Next is, which union ministry is the top buyer of goods and services from MSME sellers in 2022? So Ministry of Defense was the top procuring ministry of goods and services from MSME sellers in the calendar year 2022, and this was announced by the government's public procurement e-commerce marketplace, that is government e-marketplace. So Ministry has basically purchased the products and services worth 16,747 crore rupees in 2022 from the portal. Fine. So answer would be Ministry of Defense. Now there is another important news regarding G20. India's G20 Sherpa, Mr. Amitabh Kant, inaugurated India's first Model G20 Summit that is organized by Indian Institute of Democratic Leadership. So this 2-day Model G20 Summit recently started in Mumbai to take the idea of G20 to the youth. So you can be asked that Indian Institute of Democratic Leadership hosted India's first Model G20 Summit in which state? Answer would be Maharashtra state. Okay. Next is, which Indian state or the union territory launched the Ladli Bahina scheme? So Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh state, Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, recently launched the Ladli Bahina scheme to provide 1,000 rupees per month to the women who are from financially poor background in the state. So total sum of 60,000 crore rupees will be spent on this scheme for the next 5 years. And talking about the Ladli Bahina scheme, it will benefit the poor women who are from lower and the middle classes of all the sections on the lines of the Ladli Lakshmi scheme. Okay, so this scheme is from Madhya Pradesh state. Next is Udyan Utsav 2023 is organized every year in which state or the union territory. So Indian President Draupadi Murmu recently graced the opening of the gardens of Rashtrapati Bhavan in Udyan Utsav 2023. And this event includes opening of the Rashtrapati Bhavan gardens for general public once in a year. So this iconic Mughal garden, which lies at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, was renamed as Amrit Udyan to commemorate India's 75th anniversary of independence. Fine. So here correct answer would be New Delhi. There is one more news actually regarding Madhya Pradesh state. In Madhya Pradesh, 2 Indian Air Force fighter aircraft named as Sukhoi 30 and Mirage 2000 crashed recently in the Pahargarh area. Okay, and Indian Air Force has ordered an inquiry to find the cause of accident of these 2 fighter planes. So these 2 aircraft had taken off from the Gwalior Air Base in Madhya Pradesh as they were on a routine operational flying training mission. Fine. So you can be asked that 2 Indian Air Force fighter planes crashed recently in Pahargarh area of which state or the union territory. So answer would be Madhya Pradesh state. Fine. Next is National Anti-Leprosy Day is observed every year in which month? So World Leprosy Day is observed every year on the last Sunday of January month. And in India, it is observed on 30th of January every year. So it basically coincides with the death anniversary of Father of Nation, Mahatma Gandhi. So talking about leprosy, it is a neglected tropical disease which occurs in more than 120 countries with more than 2 lakh new cases reported every year. So India's health minister released the National Strategic Plan and the roadmap for leprosy for the year 2023 to 27. And also he released the national guidelines for antimicrobial resistance, surveillance in leprosy, along with the launch of Nikusht 2.0 portal. Fine. Next is, which state or the union territory announced to introduce 1500 e-scooters at 250 locations in the next 1 year? So Chief Minister of Delhi, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, is set to introduce e-scooter services in the city to mitigate the last mile connectivity issues. And by the next year, 1500 e-scooters will be introduced in across 250 locations. So as per the Chief Minister, a pilot project will be run from Dwarka since it has many metro stations and the bus stop. So scooters will be self-driven and its users can rent them using an integrated bus and metro card. So Delhi government has decided to introduce 1500 e-scooters at 250 locations in the next 1 year. Next is, which company has started exports of aviation gasoline for the first time in India? So Indian Oil Corporation has started the exports of aviation gasoline, which is used to operate the unmanned aerial vehicles and the small planes. So for the first time in the nation's history, India is exporting the fuel. And the first consignment of 80 barrels of aviation gas named as AV Gas 100 LL was shipped from Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust to the country Papua New Guinea. Fine. So first time Indian Oil Corporation has decided to export the aviation gasoline. Fine. Now can you tell me which country is facing a deadly flood emergency as of January 2023? This is the country New Zealand. So basically in New Zealand, deadly flood emergency continued after heavy rainfall hit the country's northern island, causing landslide and the flash flood. Right? So this country is facing a severe flood emergency. Next is, which sports person is the brand ambassador of the mining PSU NMDC? So World Boxing Champion Nikhat Zareen has been chosen to represent the mining PSU NMDC as its brand ambassador. And talking about the NMDC, it is the national miner and India's largest producer of iron ore. So Nikhat Zareen is the gold medal winner of Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games, right? What is NMDC? National Mineral Development Corporation. Okay. You can also be asked that Nikhat Zareen is associated with which sport? Answer would be boxing. Now last question is, who is the winner of the Australian Open 2023 Women's Singles title? So the winner of Australian Open 2023 is Aryna Sabalenka, who is from the country Belarus. So she has beaten Elena Rybakina to secure the women's singles title in this year's Australian Open. Talking about Aryna, she has 11 victories and 2 titles so far in the year. Fine. So winner of Australian Open is Aryna Sabalenka and she has defeated Elena Rybakina. From which country Elena Rybakina belong to? She is from the country Kazakhstan. Okay. So these are the most important current affairs and the news from today. And now let's start with our November 2022 current affairs revision session. And this is part 7 in this series. So today we'll be doing the questions from 91 up to 105. Let's start with question number 91. Which country recently hosted the second BIMSTEC Agriculture Ministers meeting? So here correct answer would be India. India hosted this meeting under the chairmanship of Union Agriculture Minister. Who's that? Narendra Singh Tomar. Now you have to tell me which countries comes under BIMSTEC. As per the amendment in Aadhaar rules, supporting documents need to be updated once in how many years? So as per the notification by Ministry of Electronics and IT, supporting documents need to be updated at least once by Aadhaar holders on completion of 10 years from the enrollment date. Public Service Broadcasting Day is observed to commemorate the visit of which leader to All India Radio? So this day is being observed on 12th of November every year, and this is celebrated to commemorate the only visit of Mahatma Gandhi to the studio of All India Radio in the year 1947. Tufan and Tufani, which were released recently, are the mascots of which game or initiative? So these are the mascots for Fit India School Week initiative. Fine. And PV Sindhu has launched this mascot. Fine. So this was the 4th edition of the Fit India School Week that was held in November month. BSNL has received approval for a deal with which company to launch the 4G services in India? So BSNL has received the central government's approval to go ahead with Tata Consultancy Services to launch 4G services in India. Fine. Next is, What is the theme of the National Education Day 2022? This day is being celebrated on 11th of November every year, and this year the theme was changing course, transforming education. Okay. Which Union Ministry notified the e-waste management rules 2022? This is associated with Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So these rules will come into force from 1st of April 2023. Which institution released the Global Vaccine Market Report 2022? So World Health Organization has released this report, and as per the report, nearly 16 billion vaccine doses were supplied in 2021. Data is not at all important. Only thing you have to remember is this report has been published by WHO. Which Union Ministry launched the Green Energy Open Access Portal? Answer would be Ministry of Power. Who is our Minister for Power? This is Mr. R.K. Singh, who is also the Minister for New and Renewable Energy. So basically it aims to ensure affordable, sustainable and green energy for all and continuation of several green initiatives. Lovlina Borgohain and Swati Bura, who were seen in the news recently, plays which sport? They are associated with boxing. Next is, which country is the host of the No Money for Terror conference? So India was the host for this conference after the meeting of Interpol and the United Nations Counter-Terrorism Committee. Okay. What is the name of India's first privately developed rocket? This is Vikram S. This is India's first privately developed rocket, and it is to be launched on a suborbital mission with total 3 payloads. And who has developed it? It is Hyderabad-based space startup, the name of which is Skyroot Aerospace. Prime Minister inaugurated ONGC's U-Field onshore facilities in which Indian state? So Prime Minister has inaugurated this ONGC Limited's U-Field onshore facility in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Tashigang, world's highest polling booth, is located in which state or the union territory? So it lies in Himachal Pradesh state, and around 98.08% voter turnout was recorded in this polling station booth. So that's why it was in news. What is the theme of the World Pneumonia Day 2022? So this day is observed every year on 12th of November to raise awareness about the disease pneumonia, and this year the theme was championing the fight to stop pneumonia. This was the theme. Fine. So these are the next important 15 questions from the month of November, and tomorrow we'll continue it from question number 106 up to question number 120. Okay. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nuz Hadsana signing off.